Indiana's 2026 Kids Count Book of Educational Metrics reveals that while Hoosier State students are ranking above average compared to U.S. peers, educators say there is room for growth and improvement. This year, Indiana's overall ranking fell from 25th to 29th, but it is the first year Indiana received a comprehensive score, not simply a state ranking. Officials say the state did improve in 2 categories for education and health. However, many students are still struggling to meet academic standards. They report more than half of Indiana 4th graders cannot read proficiently. Officials say the goal of the data book is simply to help improve lives across the state.
Keep in mind that these are real kids, real families that we're talking about, and that the data can be used to spark action in schools, in youth-serving orgs, across communities.
Experts also say that fostering reading comprehension, especially during summer vacation, is critical, and that for parents, if they reach out to the right supports, it may be easier to come up with fun options than they might realize.